I'm Chef Say. Whenever I'm tailgating, I never forget the dessert. But instead of bringing along brownies or cookies, I want something a little bit unique. Now, I love cheesecake, but wow, have you seen the calories in one piece? So I've created a lime raspberry cheesecake bite that's portable, easy to eat, and all your friends are gonna love. Let's get started. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this soggy cheesecake bottom, so I'm gonna bake my cheesecake in my prepared pan. Now take a look at how I did this. I have two overlapping pieces of parchment paper that are just folded so it covers the bottom. And why I wanna do this, because we're not using a removable bottom pan, all I have to do when I get to the game is pull my cheesecake out like this, and it's really easy to cut. So cut your parchment paper in two strips, overlap, and your pan is ready to go. Now let's start with the cheesecake mixture. In my food processor, I'm gonna add a little bit of cottage cheese. Now you can see that I've drained this. Look how much liquid is left over. You don't want that liquid in your cheesecake or it's not gonna set up properly. So my cottage cheese goes into the food processor, and because it's chunky, we're gonna process this for a couple seconds just to get it nice and smooth. There we go. This is nice and smooth. It's still got a few chunks in it, but that's okay. That's gonna smooth out when we add our cream cheese. And that goes in next. I should mention it's a good idea to have all your ingredients at room temperature. It makes incorporating everything really easy. There, that's perfect, nice and creamy. Now to this, we're adding a half a cup of Greek yogurt. Now Greek yogurt is actually just strained yogurt. If you can't find it in the grocery store, go ahead and use equal amounts of cream cheese and cottage cheese. You don't want to use regular yogurt, it's a little too watery for this. And to this, we're gonna add our sugar, just a little bit of sugar. It's not gonna be too sweet, which is great. And because this cheesecake is lime flavored, I'm gonna add a little bit of lime zest, probably a whole lime's worth, just grated directly into the food processor. There we go, that should be good. Then I'm gonna cut this lime in half and then squeeze it in. So it's gonna give it a nice acidic flavor and be a really nice complement to those raspberries we're gonna put in. Second half, squeeze that in. Well, try not to get it all over the place. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and process this for about another minute until it's nice and smooth. Now that our ingredients are all together, that's looking great as a consistency, I'm gonna go ahead and add my eggs, and then again, just process until nice and smooth and creamy. There. That should be just perfect. We're ready to pour this into our prepared pan. We've got our pan all ready to go, and for the raspberries, I'm just using fresh raspberries. If you can't find them, go ahead and use frozen ones, but make sure you've drained them first. Again, we don't want to add too much moisture to our cheesecake. I'm just putting these in the bottom of my pan. You can add them after you've put in the batter, that's totally fine. I'm going to put about 16, because I'll cut these into 16 squares afterwards. There we go. Now when you pour in your filling, be very careful. Don't try to pour it in all at once because you don't want those raspberries to move all over the place, but we're going to pour it on top. There we go. Look how creamy and nice that is. This is such a great recipe because it has about half the fat of regular cheesecake and it still tastes as good. There we go. Get every last bit of that out of there. Don't want to waste any. Now this needs to go into a hot water bath. So we're going to put it in a roasting pan, just set it right in. And then I'm going to add some boiling water to come halfway up the sides of my cheesecake pan. What this is going to do is help the cheesecake cook very slowly with a gentle heat so that it doesn't crack on top. Now this just goes into the oven, and once it's done, you're gonna wrap it up, stick it in the refrigerator, and it's ready for the next day. Hey, it's game day, and it's time for dessert. So we're gonna take our cheesecake and just pull it out of the pan. See why I wanted you to build the pan with those little strips of parchment paper? It's so easy to lift out that way. And then we're gonna slice this into our little cheesecake squares. Perfect. We'll slice two here. There we go. Now all you have to do is watch the wind, because things want to blow away, of course. There you go. Pick up one of those little cheesecake bites, and you can see we got the raspberry in there. Wait till you taste it. You're just going to love it. And you just plop them on your cracker, and you're ready to eat. Happy and healthy tailgating.